Friday. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Financial Fun Friday. I am your co-host, Darlene Jenkins, and my other co-host,
Dr. Rita B. Rowland.
Dr. Rita B. Rowland, and we are your Financial Fun Friday hosts. And of course, we are being brought to you and sponsored by ABS Retirement Solutions, where we're always bringing you what's new and what's next. So let's get started. So Financial Fun Friday, this is a webinar that we do on the first and third Friday of each and every month. We started at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are broadcasting what, Rita? Live simultaneously on Facebook. So welcome. And during this broadcast, what we do is we just pull back the curtain so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your on-the-job benefits, but we also give you some retirement options, strategies, various tips, to make sure that you live the type of retirement that you want. Now, during this time right here, we also call it our microphone checker, 1, 2, check in. So we know you watch us from all over the country, soon the world. So just drop in the chat box where you're tuning in from. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and drop the comment and let us know where you're watching us from. And of course, YouTube, go ahead and put it in the comments where you watch the broadcast from. Now, before we jump into today's topic, I do want to let you know that, and as you all are checking in, the information that we go over is going to be generic in context. And the reason we do that is because we have a lot of people that watch us live, go back and see the recording. And without having individual knowledge of everybody who is tuning in, we have to make it general. We can't make it very specific, but I tell you what we can do. If we go over something or we hit a hot button, your hot button, give your Financial Fun Friday team, a Financial Fun Friday team, that is, a call at 301-577-6340. And any information that we cover, we will be able to customize it just for you and your family. So Rita, do we have some check-in?
They don't want to check in. They on here. I know where some of them are from, but they don't want to check in. So I'm going to keep their location a secret too.
Okay. Well, that's okay if you're shy, because guess what? We appreciate you joining us. And speaking of joining us, if you would like to come here live on the platform, you can always register at our bit.ly link, which is bit.ly/Financial Fun Friday. You can go back and watch past episodes on YouTube with at ABS Retirement Solutions. And of course, please like us and follow us on Facebook at your AB Solutions. As a matter of fact, if you have a Facebook account, please share us out. Don't keep your Financial Fun Friday team a secret. So go ahead, share us out on your page right now. So Rita, you ready to get this party started?
I'm ready to get the party started because it's Friday.
Party started because it is Friday. And guess what? Your Financial Fun Friday team, we are here to serve you. So we called and sent emails to some of our clients asking, well, what do you want us to cover, or what information do you wish you had known earlier in your career or before you had retired, if you're already retired? And we appreciate our watchers, our clients, because guess what? We asked and you came through and you answered. So today, Rita and I are going to go over some of the information that you all said you wanted to know about. So Rita, you want to go ahead and get us started?
Yes. Yesterday, I had a really good conversation with a client, and of course, he retired from the government, and he had an opportunity 5 years prior to retirement. He came in, we settled, we looked at all of his resources, all of his income stream. We put together a real good plan for him. So he's in a good position, but he said he has a lot of friends, and so some of them don't work for the government. They may work private, they may have a pension, they don't, but they wanting Darlene to retire at 59 and a half. understanding that the big issue for them is how do they merge the gap between 59 and a half and 62 when they'll get their Social Security check. And so many of them are living off of their 401ks, their 403bs, and their other retirement qualified account just until they get to 59 and a half. The other issue that they have, and we'll talk about too, is healthcare. And because if they don't have a pension or have some form of healthcare, they're paying the full cost until 65. And so the biggest issue that many people have, Darlene, is not that they don't have money, right? But what they don't have is what these people are looking for. They need a consistent income that's coming in every single month so that they can have the comfortability of retiring and not have to worry. Now, what's so exciting for some people is that I have 800,000 in my 401k. I have $1 million in my TSP. I have $500,000. But let me help you understand something. Y'all know your girl like numbers. She a math freak, right?
Yes, she does. She loves numbers. She's a computer. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
$5,000 a month after taxes. Now I'm going to assume a 7% state tax. I'm assuming 20% for federal. It could be different. But just the net $5,000, Darlene, you need $69.44 a month. Now, for 2.5 years, from 59 to 62, the gap before you can at least start to take your Social Security early. And if your full age is 66, that's a 25% cut. And if it's 67 is a 30% cut. But just to merge yourself from 59 and a half to 62, you got to take out $205,479. Now, if you need $7,500 a month, you got to withdraw $308,219. And if you need 10 grand a month, which is not hard if you're in the DMV and the average mortgage is 2,500 to $3,000, right? And
that's low, Rita. I mean, let's just be real. Here,
car insurance, food, and you retire. So travel, think about it, 10 grand for a couple is not that hard to be. You need $410,000. So we talking about between 59 and 62, you would have spent 20 to 30 to 40% of your retirement pool of money just to merge you to 62. What if you live to just 82? You got 20 years more to go and you spent a big portion of your retirement. So I think one of the major things that he brought to is like I'm telling people, sit down, come up with a plan so you can find what is the best strategy for you. Because remember, they could have created income, Darlene, and preserved probably 40 to 50% of that income that they just let go out the door because they did not have a plan. So make sure, one of the things he was saying, I was grateful that you guys have been helping me and that I'm retired and I don't have to touch my other streams of income. And I know the plan. Why? Because he had a plan. And it's not that they did not have money. They did not know how to take that money and create the proper strategy that would turn on some at 59 and a half. What happens at 62? Do I wait to 65 for Social Security? Do I take it at 67? What are my other streams of income? What does that look like for me? How about healthcare? And guess what? Some of y'all don't like us, right? Because we're going to talk about that other B word that we hate, right? We know that first B word, especially, somebody call you B, you ready to fight. But that ain't even the B word I'm talking about. We talking about that B word called the budget, because that really is the foundation to everything. How do you know what you need, Darlene, in retirement if you don't know what your expenses are? Like, I need 10 grand. Well, maybe your expenses are 8, or maybe you're 6 and you're taking out more than you need. Without knowing that, you can't even dictate it. So I wanted you to know that that was a big concern. And that's the question, Darlene, people always ask. When can I retire? Am I going to have enough? And so some people are still working. I met somebody the other day. You ready for this, Darlene?
I don't.
You ready?
I am ready. I'm ready. What? She has what?
55 years working in the government. She came to the office the other day. 55 years working in the government.
That's
and the biggest
13 extra years.
I just wanted to make sure I have enough. I don't know what to do. But she finally said, Rita, I'm coming in. I'm ready to come in. And she came in. And so sometimes it's just a fear of retiring and what does that look like that keeps us stuck. When many people are prepared, what they don't have, Darlene, is a strategy. They have the resources, they have the tools. What they don't have is a strategy. And what we do is help people come up with a strategy so that what it looks like in your head can play out in your real life.
And Rita, you know, another concern people have, but they don't always articulate it to other people. Fear is, and I'm going to get to this. People are afraid, but they're afraid to go and talk to a financial professional. And so one of my very dear clients, she also brought up a very interesting point. She said that she was concerned about not having enough money or running out of money. Now, I know when you work for if you work for an employer that gives you a pension, right? You're like, well, I don't feel like I'm gonna run out of money. But it's not that your money will be gone, that the flow is going to stop. It's that it's not going to be enough to continue to maintain your lifestyle. And that was her concern. I have all of this going on. She did recognize the fact, though, Rita, that when I stopped working, my main source of income, this big check, is going to stop. And I'm used to getting paid every 2 weeks. So now I have to manage one check that's going to be lower because they're only thinking about that one check, their pension. They know, they get it logically that I'm going to have the, maybe Social Security, or if they have a 401k TSP, that I'm going to have this. But like you said, they don't have a strategy. They don't have a plan of how all of this is going to work together. And then the fear of talking to someone, which really comes down to trust. They know they need help, but they don't move on it. And that was another thing she said, that I wish I had gotten professional help earlier in my career so that some of these concerns and fears could be laid aside. But she has it now because she has us, and we were able to put together a strategy. So Rita and I, we're going to be doing a workshop, right, Rita? Helping people be prepared for retirement, not just planning for your retirement, but making sure you are ready. Are you ready? Are you ready mentally? Are you ready emotionally? Are you ready financially? Are the other people in your orbit ready for you to retire? Because guess what? Now that sounds funny. Like, what do you mean? How many people outside of your household are you supporting?
Ooh, that's
How many
major
people
right
are you
there.
supporting? So when I say, are the people outside your orbit ready for you to retire? Once you see, okay, my budget, that B word, because if you don't know how much you need, then you don't know how much you're going to need. And you have to know what you need to lay aside some of the fears that I'm not going to have enough money. And then when we dive into your budget, how many people are you supporting? And do they know when you retire that their support is going to end or be significantly reduced? And Rita, I'm gonna say this one last thing. And then when we get to that emotional piece, because, Rita is the life coach and she can speak to this. But we like helping people. We get to, we're used to supporting people. Even when we can't afford it, we still try to do it to the detriment of yourself. And that's what we're here to give you, the hard facts. As my grandmother used to say, you can like it or lump it. The lump's going to be on your head. That's what she used to tell me. You're going to get the lumps. So you might as well get the light for what I'm telling you, because it's for your benefit. Now, when I was 12, I didn't understand that. I'm like, oh. But now that I'm a little more seasoned, and I'm going to leave it right there, it makes dollars and cents. Not only does it make sense, it makes dollars and cents. Rita, sorry, what were you ready to say?
That's very good. And I think, the biggest issue, of course, I was a giver to a fault, and you can be a giver and you can be a giver to a fault of yourself. And right. One of the things I'm learning, like, we trying to be other folks' gods when that ain't our actual position to be. But I think the key is that even when you do your budget, we ask you, do you give? So on your gift column, if you support people, put in a number, but you got to be able to be okay that that number must fit one in your budget. And then you must stick to it. So if you're giving to your loved ones, your children, your grandkid, it's $300 a month. When you hit your $300 number for the month, they're going to have to wait till January the 1st or February, whenever that month is, to give another, because you don't have another $300 until that next month. What we do, darling, is that we have this limit. But then when people, somebody taught us this, and I don't remember who it is. People buy what they want and they beg and borrow for what they need. So they go to the concert, buy the shoes and the clothes and hang out and do what they want to do with their money. But then the things that they really need, like their rent and their car note, they come to you begging for it, and they're making that heartstring on you. I'm gonna be set out, or a few nights under the stars may not be bad, and you may realize that I can't spend my rent money at the shoe store. Like, you got to come to some places that you're okay to let people go through, right? And that's where your strategists come in and help you come up with this budget and say you can blame it all on us because we're okay to take it so that you can have a future you want. And in that budget, for some people who retired, was healthcare. Now, government employees, you guys have a benefit. And that's why sometimes, I know y'all, government employees, sometimes we complain about, I'm not a government employee, but I'm sticking me in there with y'all. We know we don't have good benefits, or the government ain't this, they retire. Y'all got one of the best retirement system ever, and healthcare to the day you die, okay? People out here in this real world, in these streets called private industry, they don't necessarily have that. So if they retire at 59 or 62, they got to make sure they have healthcare to last them until 65 when Medicare kicks in. I don't know if you've thought about it or looked at it, but being self-employed for years, single coverage for me and my brother 10 years ago was $1,100 a month. Okay?
10 years ago.
Yes. So inflation is real. So the average coverage could be $700, $800 for a senior. And if you're using qualified money just to pay for healthcare, you could be taking out $900 to $1,000 a month out of your retirement plan just to cover your healthcare. And in 5.5 years, you just spent $66,000 of your retirement for healthcare. So when you think about retirement, don't move out of frustration. Don't move hastily. Have a sit down conversation. Say, this job may be getting on my nerve, or I'm willing to retire from this major job and I need to do this thing part-time somewhere so I have enough funds to cover my healthcare. So I think we beat that with we beat that horse. Okay. So you understand you need a budget, you need to be prepared, you need to have streams of income. The other thing that he talked about too was having one of the clients we talked about long-term care, and she said that she wished somebody would have talked to her about it earlier and just having the understanding of it. And to be honest with everybody, the industry didn't understand long-term care today in 2023, 2022, as they did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when they kind of really started talking about it. Because we've been in this industry with long-term care, darling, since about 2006 or 7. And
before
one of
that, Rita,
was around
actually, doing the long-term care, because it was 2000. We were first introduced in 2001, and then we really started trying to do it about 2004.
4 or 5. Okay. So I would remember when I got my plan on my mom. So that's probably why that year came about. But what happened is that they didn't understand how to price long-term care. So when it started out, y'all, it was maybe 60, 70 companies in. Now it's down to less than 10. And the government has even put a freeze on there because they got to reprice it, because we wasn't expecting people to live this long, but not just live. They're living with some health challenges that cause them to need long-term care. So even if you're listening, and they say that 76% of us will need care. So if it was me, Darlene, and the third person that you could see on the screen, 2 of us would need care. So out of me and Darlene, statistics said one of us and half of the other one gonna need some care.
Yeah.
So neither of us are going to escape it. So because we know statistics, let's just go with what they say. And you could put a plan in place. And one of the things too that one of the companies we deal with, Golden Care, a lot of the companies are realizing, Darlene, that it's a real issue for many people. They don't want to pay the cost of long-term care. But they also realize that most people are looking at long-term care as a 5, 6, a lifetime. But who has long-term care lifetime? Most people, if you're that sick, you're not living a lifetime, right? So you could be gone. So they're shrinking long-term care into a short-term care plan. So you may have a plan that's 12 to 24 months. Because for most people, to give them a decent amount of money for 12 to 24 months for a loved one that needs it, that's major for them. It's enough to get you through a transition period, to get a game plan, just to have money coming in where you're not draining all of your resources in the beginning. And so think about yourself. Think about, okay, people always say, I want to live until I'm 95 or I reach 100. That sounds good. But do you have a plan for your care if you live there? And one of the things, Darlene has taught me this, and it makes, as she said, dollars and cents. If you don't have long-term care and you got some loved ones that love you, that may take care of you, have a conversation with them so that they know that you are there, that they are your long-term care. And I think, Darlene, that's something that we take advantage of the fact that we don't want to pay for it and we don't want to be bothered, but we haven't told the people that love us that they need to care for us, sacrifice their lives for us, give up their future for us, change their plans for us, cancel their vacations for us, stress and wear their bodies out for us. We need to tell people that truth so that they can have another plan. Because I understood that plan, y'all. And I love my mama, my aunt mom, but let me go get her long-term care plan so I wouldn't have all the burden on me and my siblings for it. So a long-term care in place so that I can help take care of her from a different perspective.
Absolutely, Rita. Whew, girl, you said a mouthful there. It's not just having a plan, it's having the money for the plan. And what I have come to find out in talking to people, everyone, and probably 95% of the people on here and that will watch either have experienced a long-term care giving, a caregiving situation, or have watched someone close to them, not a coworker that you don't see when you leave the building or log off, but someone that you talk to and that you see regularly go through a long-term caregiving situation. But so that brings me to, we know we need something, because while we're going through it, I don't want this to happen, or, I don't want my child to have to deal with this, or my kids, or we start thinking, well, who's going to do this for me? So but we won't move. That's the thing. We won't move. We know we need it, but we're concerned I can't afford it, or it's not going to happen to me. And that's one of the reasons why the industry is changing, because most people, out of fear and lack of understanding, think, oh, well, I need a plan that's going to, pay me out for till I die. You are not going to be, like Rita said, you're not going to be in care when you get to a situation, unless it's a cognitive issue like dementia or Alzheimer's. As hard as this is, and I'm not speaking from a theory, I'm speaking from facts, things I've been through, things I'm going through right now. Unless it's a cognitive issue, you're not going to be here 5-10 years. You're not. The statistics say when a person starts needing long-term care, it's 3, maybe, actually it's 2 to 4 years that they'll be in a long-term care situation where they can't do 2 or more life daily activities. You can't feed yourself, bathe yourself, clothe yourself, transfer. You can't do 2 of those things. 2, not 1. You can't do 2. Now you need long-term care. So 2 to 4 years. But the average person passes, who needs long-term care, in 3 years. When I first heard that statistic, I was like, they lying. That's what I said. Because I know people caring for their parents, grandmas. But let me tell you something. My mother passed 3 years from the time she needed long-term care and really needed it. She had been sick since 2013. That's when her journey started, was 2013. But when she needed long-term care, because she couldn't do 2 or more of those things, that happened in 2015. 2018, September the 17th, my mother passed. 3 years in. when I finished processing everything, and I said, my Lord, it's true. It's 3 years. And in those 3 years, I had been, before that, I tried to get my mother to get long-term care, but she didn't want to pay for it. Didn't want to pay for it. And subconsciously, and I didn't even realize it. And I'm in the business. So imagine how your children gonna feel. Mom, Dad, Papa, what you do this to me for? So,
And you know, Darlene, something you said is major, and she didn't tell you this part, is that $1,000 came out her pocket a month to help care for her mother so that she could still work. And so if she could go back hindsight, and I'm going to ask you this live, right? Would you have preferred to pay $300 a month for care as opposed to trying to pay $1,000, which was nowhere near what you needed to care for her? And so,
oh, absolutely, absolutely,
can't afford it. So you may want
and it wasn't even that much that I was paying back there,
because mine is not.
Yeah, it wasn't even that much. And by that point, I had a child, a teenage child. So it not only affects the parents, because the parents they emotionally, when they in it, now they tore up because they can see the financial stress you under. You tore up because you don't want your parent who sacrificed for you to feel like you ungrateful and you don't want to do this for them. So you hide it. And now that's emotional and financial stress for you. And now you, if you have children, now you are digging into other pools of money that you have set aside, like I did. I'm just using my situation. I now had to go to my daughter's college fund. So now she is impacted. So when my mom passed, she had life insurance, which was able to help me now pay some of the expenses, but I had gone into debt. So it impacted my mom, me, and my daughter still to this day. So we offer all of you on here. And if it seems like we're preaching or whatever, or beating a dead horse, it's because we are passionate. We care about you. The best lesson to learn is somebody else's.
Yeah, I think it's major. I think it's major. And I think the part that we also will rather give people some money for some shoes or something else that they need. Maybe you guys got parents. Maybe your parents, you see the writing that they have some, what this girl told me the other day, that this is a real joke, y'all. I'm going to go very quick. She said that when she was young, her aunt came in the house and said, Arthur is wearing her out. Arthur is beating her up some kind of bad, and he just won't let go. And so when her aunt left, she asked her grandma, like, why is Arthur beating up on Auntie? And, why is she still with him? She not, she don't understand, but Arthur is beating her. And the grandma started laughing and said, well, baby girl, that's not a man. That's called arthritis. And it's just in her bones. So some of y'all looking at Arthur on your parents, or you looking at some health issue, you see it, the handwriting is on a wall, but you're walking past the wall as if it does not exist. So with Darlene, the difference between me and her, she didn't move. She paid the price, and she paid probably 5-6 times a month what she would have paid. I made a decision that I couldn't afford $1,000 when I was in my major retirement prepping year. I got long-term care. So you need to think about it. You can't afford, say, Ma, I love you. Be willing to give up on a vacation once a year or eating out so that you can afford to either help them or pay it yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be the caregiver, then you may want to think about caring for yourself, who is the caregiver. Give to you.
Right. And Rita, this is another thing that got me hemmed up too, because you need to, we look at people and we think they have more than they do. I got that going on in my family right now. So my mother, to me, always had money. She, her definition of being broke was when she had $10,000 in the bank. She upset, she concerned. She down to her last $10,000 with money still coming in, okay? So I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay for this because you got the money to pay, and I got a child over here, you pay. Why am I spend my money? Please have accurate thinking about that. and accurate thinking, because I'm like, oh, well, she got money. She could do it. My mother was in debt. You don't know if the people you looking at in debt, they got money, but how much debt they had. You don't know that whole picture. So don't have inaccurate thinking.
Ooh,
We invite you to come in and talk to us so we can look at you and your family situation. We do family meetings because they may not
yes.
hear this from you. They may not take it from you, but from a stranger, from a financial professional, they will hear you. It's like you tell your kids, do this, you need to do this, do that. And then somebody else come tell them and they act like that's the first time they ever heard it. Oh, that's a great idea, dude. And you've been telling them for 10 years to do the same thing and they ain't listening.
Exactly.
No different. So we
almost out of time. We're gonna give you one more because we promised. The last one that a client said, Rita, she mentioned talking about wills and trusts. And as much as we don't even want to do it, I'm telling you guys, take the time, look at your assets. I had this, you guys, my favorite conversation with a client. They was worth like $3 million. And they told me that they didn't want to spend $3,500, what their cost was I think it was 38 because they had an extra home. And I said, that's what your cost is at that time. And they thought that was too much. So they didn't want to pay less than 0.5% to cover the other 99.5% of their assets. So put your assets, put your future, your kids' legacy in perspective. What is it worth to make sure that at your death, I'm telling you, I hear stories every single day. Me and Darlene just heard one last week. I just had heard one yesterday at my aunt's funeral. Family that were together at death, they're no longer talking. Siblings and children all over money in the house. Why? Because mom did not have a rock solid estate plan. It doesn't matter the people you think you love, that you tight with. Money shifts the game. And if you think you're different, you're about to leave your family in a rut row because you're no different from all the other people who thought this was their favorite sister and their favorite aunt. And death has made them think about this thing totally different. I have another client who came in the house, mother died, their siblings are good, but one sibling died. Their children who got their own home wants them to sell. These are older people in their 70s living in this house, 3 siblings living in the house that their mother left. Now, the 3 siblings, y'all, don't have children. So when they pass away, it's going back to the same 2 children, the grandkids, who want them to sell it or buy them out. So you want me to buy you out so when we die, you get it again.
Yeah, that's a touch.
Writing because it's not right, y'all. Think about these futures. So when we're going to talk about retirement ready, it ain't just you getting to that day, December 31st, I'm out the door. It's all these things that we talked about plus more to make sure that you're ready for retirement. And I know we want to just live this life like it's nothing. You can't live to 95 and not have some concerns and be prepared to live to 95, because 95 ain't just coming just like, roses. It's coming with stuff called life. And so we're helping you to live through this life with grace, with dignity, and with comfort, and with certainty that you know what it looks like.
Absolutely. Yeah, that estate plan. We're going to be holding a workshop for getting retirement ready. That's going to be at the end of the month.
December the 27th.
December the 27th. We'll send everybody out that's on here the link, for registration. We'll do an email blast and let everybody know we're doing it. But, it's that estate planning, wills and trust. Again, I just went through that myself when my dad passed away, my stepdad passed away, and having the proper plan in place, like a trust, can alleviate a lot of unwanted stress and problems, because the problem's coming if you don't have the right paperwork in place. Oh, it's coming. Oh, and you got to
some things in a track.
Right. Oh, you got a will. Well, I see you in court. So have your money. So, but anyway, that we wanted to share that and more. And we also wanted to just wish you all a happy holidays. We really do. Merry Christmas and a happy New Year. We really did. I really did. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Be safe out there. If you have questions, please reach out to us, because your Financial Fun Friday team, we are here to help you put all of the pieces together. And like Mr. Alan Lakin always says, planning, which is what we're trying to help you do, that's what we're here for. Planning is bringing the future into the present today, December the 15th, 2023, so that we can do something about 2033 right now. That's what we're here for. So as I said,
Can I add something really quick? And for all those that are on here, we heard from a few people, and one or two of them are online. So thank you. As you can see, your questions have been answered. But some of you may have been on here. We haven't answered questions that you have in your mind. Please reach out to us via email or phone call and say, Rita, Darlene, I want to hear more about this. We need to understand this. I saw this on YouTube. I have questions. Reach out to us, because sometimes what's in our mind may not be in your mind. So please share with us so that we bring to the table your questions, your concerns, and your issues.
Absolutely. So contact us so we can help you map out that strategy and put all of the pieces together. Again, this is our contact information for those online, on the phone and online. We can be reached at 301-577-6340. That's our office number. Or you can email us at FFF@YourABSolutions with an SINC.com. But just give us a call on the old telly, 301-577-6340. Well, Rita, it has been fantabulous as always. So we appreciate you all coming and joining us for the last show of
2023.
Go out with a bang. Give your team a call so that we can help get you set up to go roar like a lion into 2024. So we appreciate you. Have a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful and safe New Year. And we will see you back here I'll see you back here on January the 5th. I don't know if my co-host is going to be available or not, but I'll be here with bright smile, ready to roll. So take care, everybody. Thank you for hanging in here with us, and we'll see you on the other side of the new year. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.